Morning everyone, welcome back to another video. Day 2 of solid manure. Just getting the case loader started. All the boss is already here to chase the Corral out, I guess. Still good for one more day, I think. Morning.
Morning. I'll close the gates here.
Okay. Right on. Pen 5, the steers. Yesterday was a pretty big struggle to get them out because the pen was so muddy. Now I should be able to run around a little easier. See if I can get them out myself. Come on dudes, let's go. Well, that's pretty amazing. Got them out by myself, but that's just because there's no mud in here anymore. Easy to run. Just gotta clean the edges. Like I said in the last video, that is taking a long time because we're hauling it so far away, trying to get the manure on a field that's never had manure before, which is all good, but you gotta start driving pretty far for that. Get the old MX285 fired up, check the oil. Good. Probably lost a centimeter of oil off of that dipstick over the course of hauling liquid. I'm sure it's going to do at least that over the course of hauling solid manure. So we are at some point going to have to put some more engine oil in this tractor, but for this morning it's good. Gonna head to the Corral in just a second. I want to show you guys some equipment we got pulled out here though on the yard. Starting to get some other jobs done. Dad's using the discer here to disc that piece of land that we're clearing this year. I showed you guys the drone shots when it was snowing, all the grass and stuff, so he's gonna rip that up using this rig. Pretty good looking setup, I'd say. That is a case discer. We bought it quite a few years ago. And of course the trusty Bueller Versatile. And then behind us here, we got the Ford New Holland 4-wheel drive tractor and just the toolbar of our Borgo drill, 62-foot drill. It does not have the individual openers, but this thing's a beast. Hammer out quite a few acres with this guy. So this is completely Mechanic Brent's area of expertise. Me and Dad don't really touch this stuff. He just gets to do it all. Equipment wise, he fixes anything that's broken, and he also does all the seating. It's always exciting when you see this stuff getting pulled out. And since we're gearing up for seeding, that means we gotta get some spraying done as well. This is our New Holland Flexi Coil 135-foot sprayer, pull type. And it's got the duals on there right now. Matches up with our Bueller Versatile, that's what pulls it. And then the Borgo seed tank, 6550. It's exciting to see all this stuff pulled out, that's for sure. It's kind of motivating to get the manure hauling done, because the sooner I get that done, then I can participate more in the seeding and spraying of the field work. But it's not always up to me, it's up to the weather, but we'll see how it goes. We got enough manure cleared out of this Corral where I can pull straight in with the wagon and make the full loop. Goes a little easier like that. Just on our first load this morning, I noticed some more belt was hanging out from underneath the hood of the MX285, and that is the main belt at the front, and it runs the alternator and some other stuff here. We definitely can't run without it. It's tearing apart. There's 5 out of 8 of those notches left. You can see it should cover this whole wheel there, but it doesn't. So it's ripping apart now more and more. It's looking pretty rough, and as soon as this thing goes, we're hooped pretty quick. So I'm gonna see if I should keep running or not, and if we have a spare, try get it on, see what we can do. We're in the shop, we're looking for a spare belt. Apparently there's one up here. Just gotta find it. So we found a spare in the shop, but it's used. There's a little bit of wear on that one as well. Maybe it's gonna work, I don't know. But I'm just waiting for Dad to show up because it looks like a decent sized job to get this belt switched around. There's 5 out of 8 notches left, so whatever percentage that works out to. I definitely don't want that to go while I'm humming down the road at 40 kilometers an hour with a load on there. I feel like the tractor's gonna die pretty quickly like that. Life with the MX285 continues. So we're just gonna keep running the tractor until our mechanic Brent comes here with a new belt. That's what Dad thinks is best, so let's see if that pays off. I don't know what happens if that belt just blows up completely. I feel like the tractor's just gonna shut off. Dad hopped in the loader. He's gonna clean the edges of the Corral up. It's always really time consuming, and if somebody else does that while I'm out in the field dumping, it makes this job a lot more efficient. Well, you guys saw, got the new belt on, and mechanic Brent there saw that there was a problem with one of those pulleys, so he ordered a new part. Should be in the city waiting for somebody to pick it up, then I'll put it on. But that's why the belts are blowing, but we put a new one on there anyway, so hopefully it lasts. Well, I just had, I hope, what is going to be the most stressful load of the entire hauling of the Corrals. We just went from our farm, which is over there. It's about 1.5 miles down the road, and then the field is around the corner over there. But we got this stretch of blacktop to go on, and the rubber liner on this manure wagon gave out halfway through and just started dumping the slop on the road. I didn't notice it right away. It's only the last quarter stretch maybe of this length of blacktop, and that rubber liner at the bottom of the door gave out on me. Just started spewing muck out the back. What a mess, unreal. So I didn't waste any time. I just started driving back and forth over it. That's all I really can do. It doesn't look maybe so bad on the video here, standing directly on top of it, but when you're driving past it, it looks bad. We would have liked to get it all the way to our far fields that have never had manure, but I think I can't take the risk of that happening again. We want to respect everyone else that's on this road. If you're a farmer and you're going to ignore everyone else around you these days, it's just not going to end well for you. They're going to hammer some rules on you pretty hard, and it's going to make your life a lot more difficult. So it is what it is. We're just going to haul closer to the farm on land that probably had more manure. This afternoon, Dad is picking up a new rubber liner for that door, so maybe then we can see if we can start hitting this road again. But until then, just bring them closer to the yard. Don't take the risk anymore. So even considering that amount of manure that just got dumped on the road, as I looked back, I noticed it. I turned off as quickly as I could into one of our fields, and when I dumped that load, I was returning to the farm again, and a cop was driving over the road. He was basically driving over top of that spilled manure, and he just kept driving. He didn't stop me. I think we're really privileged here. I don't know if privilege is the word. Maybe we're just lucky. In Saskatchewan, it's an agricultural world that still believes in farming. Whereas I feel like in other places in the world, maybe Europe or maybe some places near bigger cities, you'd right away get a ticket for spilling a bit of manure on the road. So we're pretty lucky that way. Shout out to the COP. We're doing our best to try to keep these roads clean, and like I said, I'll just have to adjust how I'm hauling now to make sure that we don't end up with a lot more slop on the road. We're finished our first corral finally. What a ton of muck was in here. It's one of our biggest corrals as well, so it took a long time, but got her cleaned out. So we'll go spread this load, and then we'll let the steers back in here and take out the next corral. We're gonna put the steers back in their pen, and then we'll do Corral 6 next, which is kind of 2 pens. It's pen 7, pen 6. So we'll just try and chase that pen into the other one, and we don't even need to take them out. I think we missed the first shower of the day, but this one from this afternoon, it's looking on the radar like it's going to be hitting us. Oh well, we'll keep hauling as long as we can until the field gets slimy, until we make the road too much of a mess, either or. But it would be awesome to get that moisture. We still have that half section of winter rye. It's in the ground right now. And it'd be nice to get some rain on those 2 quarters of land, get a good start for those fields, and of course every bit of moisture we can get into the ground before we put seed there is a huge benefit to us. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still have my doubt that it's gonna rain. Last couple summers out here made us pretty pessimistic. Well, we did get a little bit of that rain, just enough to make the dirt fly up on the tractor and the wagon and make a mess of everything again. It's the same old story. And then as far as moisture on the ground goes, pretty much nothing. Pretty much nothing. Dad's back from the city. We got a new parts for the hitch here. You can see this one on the Manure wagon. That's wearing pretty thin. It should be round like this the whole way through, and it's been progressively wearing itself down. There's so much weight right here. So it's getting pretty sketchy. We're gonna switch it around. He's got a new one. It looks quite a bit different. So that's a new one. It's got a ball in there. I guess that might prevent wear a little bit. Well, first things first, let's get this wagon unhooked. Of course, it starts raining again. Jongen, jongen.
Yeah.
That's pretty rank.
Make sure you grease that thing too.
You got another lock washer somewhere?
Yeah, here.
It's always going to be a lot harder to line the pin up though. So this is the old one again. Probably a centimeter was worn out from the bottom. They're supposed to be symmetrical. That's pretty substantial, I think, and it was well timed to replace it. Unreal. Well, we're gonna stop hauling for the day. We're not gonna get that much done anymore, and if I do run that wagon up and down the road, it's just gonna make more of a mess. So we're gonna take the loader out, let the cows back in here, and we gotta put a bolt on a fence there, the fence that separates the two pens here. For some reason, it just came out. You guys can see this gate is looking pretty rough, and that's because cleaning manure in the wintertime, you shove a big ice block against it. It's so weak, it just breaks like nothing, but we'll get this bolt in quickly. Threads on this one are pretty buggered. This nut I got here is pretty buggered. This is gonna be so much fun. Weasel beasel. See how far I can twist this on by hand. Well, that was almost 3/4 of a turn, I think. She's going. Just finished a long day of work and went to the Asquith Hotel, grabbed myself a Canadian pizza. It's got mushrooms, bacon, pepperoni, and of course a lot of cheese. So I look forward to eating this whole thing. Should be pretty easy. Long day of work makes you pretty hungry. But that is gonna be it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.